2 p.m. on Thursday, the 13th of May, 2021, and I'm calling to order this regular meeting of the committee. We have a quorum consisting of at-large Councilmember Alyssa Silverman and Ward 2 Councilwoman Brooke Pinto. We are meeting virtually via Zoom to consider Bill 24-168, the District's Opportunity to Purchase Amendment Act of 2021 that was introduced on March 29, 2021 by myself, along with Council members Robert White and Alyssa Silverman. This legislation is substantially similar to a bill that was introduced during the previous Council period 23 at the request of the mayor, the DOPA Amendment Act of 2019. The committee held a hearing on that bill on July 10th, 2019. The committee used feedback from the public to form a working group last fall, consisting of committee staffers, representatives of the housing department, tenants, and housing providers, as well as advocates, to come up with a consensus of improvements to the existing bill. Bill 24-168 will make several changes to the district's Opportunity to Purchase program, often referred to as DOPA. The goal is to make it more usable as a better contribution to preserving affordable housing in the district. The district's Opportunity to Purchase Act gives the district the first right of refusal for eligible multifamily properties in the event that the tenants do not exercise their rights to purchase their building using the Tenant Opportunity to Purchase Act, or TOPA law. Originally established in 2008 with the passage of Bill 17-631, the district's first right of refusal Amendment Act of 2008, the DOPA law allows the mayor an opportunity to serve as a backstop purchaser in order to preserve affordable housing at the time of a sale of a multifamily building in the event the tenants are not able to do so. It took 10 years for the district government to promulgate the rules for the DOPA program. And since the program was finally implemented in November of 2018, no DOPA projects were successfully implemented. In total, the district has received 87 notices. DHCD, the housing department, sent 15 written statements of interest to DOPA eligible properties and published requests for proposals in all of these cases. In the 11 of these cases, there was no DOPA purchase because the tenants pursued their TOPA rights. In the remaining 4 cases, however, the tenants did not respond at all. So the bill before us today addresses the shortcomings of the DOPA program that have prevented it from becoming a useful tool to preserve affordable housing opportunities in the district. Now for the chronology of the revised bill. The committee held a public roundtable on the district's Opportunity to Purchase Act on April 21, 2021. At the roundtable, the committee heard unanimous support for Bill 24-168 from public and government witnesses. The changes to DOPA made in the bill 24-168 include: 1, aligning DOPA affordability requirements with other affordable housing programs in the district. 2, requiring a housing provider involved in a DOPA purchase to produce an affordability plan. 3, clarifying the treatment of vacant units. 4, clarifying requirements for how rents are to be set. And 5, clarifying specific instances of how current tenants are to be protected. These changes will result in a DOPA program that works better so that it may contribute to preserving affordable units in the district while also protecting the tenant's right throughout the process. Importantly, this bill now sets the stage for the district government to play a more active role in preserving affordable housing in the district and enhancing affordable housing opportunities in every ward. During testimony at the roundtable, the Coalition for Nonprofit Housing and Economic Development, affectionately known as CNHED, estimated that as many as 100 rental apartment buildings containing about 4,000 units could come onto the sales market at the end of this public health emergency that we will be ending in a few weeks, really a few days. Therefore, opportunities for the use of the both TOPA and DOPA are anticipated in order to maintain many units of existing affordable housing available to residents with household incomes from 0 to 80% of the family of 4 medium income standards. According to analysis by the Council's Office of Racial Equity, that weighed in on today's proposed legislation. Preserving these units as affordable is transitioning these units to affordable could support many residents of color who were hardest hit during this pandemic or are hardest hit during this pandemic as an important inflection point in the district. It's worth noting, as pointed out by the assessment, that DOPA is an affordable housing program that requires no district funds beyond the general administration costs. If an affordable housing provider is assigned purchasing rights, there is no accompanying promise of a subsidy. That's what makes this bill so important. It clarifies and streamlines requirements to allow developers to make financial decisions with more certainty. And it also sustains those buildings with no subsidy and qualifies all of the properties for federal subsidy, such as LIHTC. All of this is done while protecting existing affordability for our tenants. And so the assessment continues. It includes a step-by-step explanation of how DOPA could work from start to finish, and I encourage all to review it. So the print before us today includes several technical conforming changes to the bill that were added by the Council's Office of General Counsel. I want to thank every member of the working group that helped us get to this point today. And I want to special thank my colleagues, Robert White and Alyssa Silverman, for joining me in co-sponsoring the legislation today. And I want to thank my colleague, Brooke Pinto, for being here so that we can move forward with our markup. And now I will pause and ask, is there any discussion or further discussion? All right, Councilmember Silverman.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Hang on one second. There we go. Well, thank you, first of all, for the shout out. And I was happy to co-introduce this bill with you. And I really appreciate your sense of urgency on marking this up. And I also do want to give a shout out to your committee director, Ram, for the work he put into this to make it possible. I'll just be very brief, which is not a sign that I will be very long. You'll hold me, keep me accountable on the briefness. You know, you said it, Councilmember Bonds, but we desperately need more affordable housing. We need to be more strategic and use every tool in the toolbox to make this city more affordable. And I know I saw that Brian McClure is watching, and I know that the Council's Office of Racial Equity has weighed in on this bill, and it was a very promising assessment, Councilmember Bonds. I think you would share that opinion. And I want to thank the efforts that Mr. McClure's office made, in my understanding, in making some improvements to the draft of this bill as well. His office is so important because we know that there is a big difference between the median household income of white families in our city and Black and Latino families in our city. And that makes the affordability issue even more important from a racial equity perspective. So I think that, Madam Chair, that I have been focused on DOPA as you have as well, because I think it's a tool that we need to use. It's been underutilized. I'm being polite here, but we need to use it. And the changes that you make with this bill, I think, will help DOPA finally work and be an asset to creating more affordability in our city, affordable homes in our city. So I said I was going to be brief. I'll stop there. I thank you so much and look forward to working with you on any further tweaks we might want to make as we move this to first reading. Thank you so much. And I'm happy to vote yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Councilwoman Silverman. Councilwoman Pinto.
Thank you so much, Chairwoman Bonds. I'll just add my thanks to both you and Councilmember Silverman for all of your hard work on this. The three of us served on the mayor's rental housing strike force, and I think sometimes there can be effective outcomes from the hearing and legislative process, and other times a working group is more effective. And I'm really glad to see all of your efforts with the working group on this DOPA legislation to ensure that we can move forward with the best path forward and ensure that we have buy-in from as many stakeholders as possible, particularly the changes you all made around widening the range for affordable housing financing programs and clarifying the requirements for how rents are to be set and how tenants can be protected after a DOPA transfer, clarifying the treatment of vacant units, and requiring affordability plans for developers as they guide the transition of the property to ensure the preservation and hopeful potential addition of additional affordable units. So I am pleased to support this bill today, and just thank you both and your teams for all of the work that I know goes into each of these measures.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Councilwoman Pinto. I will move the committee report in print for Bill 24-168 in block and leave room for staff to make any technical changes. And we'll ask now, all those in favor, if you would signify by a sign of aye.
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 All right. I will indicate that the response was unanimous in favor. Okay, so this measure passes. This concludes today's meeting. And again, thank you to members of our committee. And as you both have said very well, we have so much work to do, and we're just going to try to expedite it as much as possible. I think now is the time to do it. Now that we're trying to come out of the health pandemic, it's important that we get these tools working more effectively for all of the residents. So thank you very much for today. And with that, I think I'm to give us the time. Oh, it is 2:15 p.m. Same day we started. Thank you all. And thanks